Hi everyone, we're a little early. This is the first time that I'm doing this. So I'm going to see if we can see who's chatting or who's on. I don't know if anybody can say hi. Usually there's comments. Oh, I see Jen Anderson and Chris Restad, sorry, joined. Oh, I see a heart. Yay! Yay! So I don't know if you can comment. We're a little early. Hello, Blomkers. Oh, and Berniers. Yeah, hi. Oh my gosh, I bet you got Harley and Bella there. Hi, guys. You guys can also write a comment. Oh, Odin says hi. Yay. Jen, I hope you're feeling okay. No, the baby's going to be okay. Everything's fine. Say hi to Olivia for me too, Jana. I thought we wanted to start just a little bit so people can get on. And so this is my office as we're waiting here. You know, we'll start officially at 1. Oh, I see. Hello from the Blomkers. I see that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, this is the inside of my office. I think a lot of kids have seen the inside of it anyway. But you can kind of see the back. I was trying to find a hard... Oh! Hello, Mrs. Brickell. I bet you're in your classroom, aren't you? So, Mrs. Brickell, if you're in your classroom, you can come and join me. If I yell loud enough, maybe you can hear me. Oh, we see the Phillip boy. We have the Phillip boys. Hello, Nolan. Hello, Isaac. Maybe we could get Mrs. Brickell just to come and say hi. That would be fun. Oh, Stella and Charlotte say hi. Oh, this is great. I just love this. I just love the chatting. So yeah, we're just going to be waiting a little bit here before we actually begin. But no, I was saying before, it was hard to find a spot in my office that it wasn't really bright. I like sun and... Oh, hold on. Someone's here. Come here. Look who's here.
Hi.
Oh my God, Mrs. Brickell. Yes.
I'm in my room getting stuff ready to do at home.
Yes. Oh, you did hear what you did hear.
I did.
You did? Oh, get back.
I don't know if it's the whole time.
You have to say the whole time, but you can come and say hi.
Hi.
So if anyone wants to say hi to Mrs. Brickell, just write a comment. Oh, okay. Yep. I see that outfits are having trouble connecting. Hopefully they can get in there.
Yeah.
But this is fun. Oh, this is great. Anyway.
I'm gonna go back to my room.
She's gonna go back to her room. But yay, we had a guest star. That was wonderful. But as we're waiting to start, make sure if you miss out on any episodes, you can go to this link, and I sent it out as an email. You know, http:// bit.ly. And then St. Bernard's book with Mrs. Brickson. And notice it is case sensitive, so that T and that W is small. So make sure that we keep on doing that. Oh, you can't see me. Okay, is anybody else having a hard time seeing me? Is anyone having a hard time seeing me? Philip said they're having a hard time seeing. Okay. But anyway, it looks like it's 1 o'clock. So that means we're going to get started, and hopefully this can sound okay. But of course, we have to start it this way. Kids, feel free to sing along. Yay, I hope you can hear it okay. Yay! Remember that? Yes! Okay. Well, let's begin. Welcome to day 1 of our new reality, at least for a little while. My intention is to just have some time to connect with everybody. I love following along on the comments. Oh, I see hi from Grace Duffy. And oh, Yes, yes. Hi, Mrs. Brickson. I see. Oh, Kristen. Yes, hello. And then, but I love seeing the comments. I'm just seriously, I'm feeling a little bit clumped right now. Feeling a little emotional because I just miss you guys and love you so much. But I wanted to know, say, take a look. I got the shirt on. Huh? St. Bernard School, go make a difference. So one of the things too I would really love is on this site to, you know, if you guys could comment and send messages or pictures of what you're doing during the day. Draw a picture and send it to me via email or whatever the case may be, and we'll try to put those up because I think it's really important to have that connection. But kiddos, again, we are going to be reading a book today. And if you guys ever miss it, don't worry, don't fret. It's going to be on this Facebook page, and it's going to be saved on there. And also, it's going to be, again, on this. This is a playlist on YouTube, okay? And if you look later on in the instructions, you will see, not the instructions, the description of this video. This is listed as well, and it's on that piece of paper that I sent home. And also, also there's a QR code. But anyways, today we're going to start with a joke. Okay? We're going to start with a joke. And that joke is, oh, I just lost it. Oh, just a second. That joke is, oh, I'm going to have to grab that in just a second because now I can't see it. Sorry about that. I will get you a joke near the end. Sorry about that. Anyway, oh, I see Rico's have joined. Hello. Libby Sabata. I see Sabata, Alex Yagi. Hi from the Sabatas and Chloe. Oh, Sarah Kalish, you're dancing. I see that. Oh, I see Cruises. This is so fun. Okay. Anyway, we're going to start. This is one of my favorite books. Now, I'm kind of hoping that my daughter Hannah is watching, you know. So if we could, so if Hannah, if you're watching, you remember this. Some of you who might have some older brothers or sisters who had me as a teacher remember this book as well. This is the book that I usually read at the beginning of the school year with my fourth graders, and we just love this. Oh, Stella says, hi, Chico. So yeah, guys, you can have those side comments too. This is a story by Barbara Robinson, and this is a story that's going to be fun for both preschoolers all the way up to fifth graders, and it's just a lot of fun. There's a whole series of books by Barbara Robinson. The first one that some people are most familiar with, that's the Best Christmas Pageant Ever, and it's a short read, and it's just hilarious. There's also the best/worst Halloween ever, and so that's another story by her if you're into it. Oh, good. Oh, this is great. Oh, hello, Idle Bees. Hello, Idle Bees. Okay, and oh, I'm glad Phillips architected. Now, for our pre-K kids and for our preschool kids, notice there's no pictures in this book, but I am going to try to paint some pictures with my voice. Hopefully it'll be okay. And this is a time for you kids to just sit back. I want you to get comfy, sit back and relax. I'm going to read about a chapter, and they're short, each day, and just sit back and enjoy. I want you to use your imagination and just paint those pictures in your mind, okay? But first, water. Yes, Mrs. Air, it is out of the blue cup. I always, she always teases me about my blue cup. Okay, oh, I just love this. Yes, oh, I see cars have joined. Okay, so let's begin. The Herdmans, back again. When we studied the Old West, everybody had to do a special report on a cowboy's life, or famous Indian chiefs, or notorious outlaw families, like the James brothers. Boomer Malone picked the James brothers, but he couldn't find them in the children's encyclopedia. That's all right, Boomer, Miss Kemp said. It doesn't have to be the James brothers. Pick another outlaw family. So Boomer did. He picked the Herdmans. Of course, the Herdmans weren't in the Old West, and they weren't in the children's encyclopedia either. They were right there in Woodrow Wilson's school, all 6 of them, spread out, 1 to a class, because the only teacher who could put up with two of them at once would have to be a Miss King Kong. My father said he bet that it was in the teachers' contracts, along with sick leave and medical benefits. Only one herdman at a time. Boomer's paper was the best one. 3 whole pages of one crime after another. He should have gotten an A+. But Miss Kemp made him do the whole paper over. I'm ashamed at you, Boomer, she said, calling your own schoolmates an outlaw family. The herdmans didn't care. They knew they were outlaws. So did Miss Kemp. But I guess she had to pretend they were like everybody else. They weren't. And if they had been around in the Old West, they would have burned it all down or blown it up, and we wouldn't have to study about it. Plus, of course, we wouldn't have to live with the herdmans every day, in school and out. Chapter 1. Unless you're somebody like Huckleberry Finn, the first day of school isn't too bad. Most kids by then, they're bored with summer and itchy from mosquito bites and poison ivy and nothing to do. Your sneakers are all worn out and you can't get new ones till school starts. And your mother is sick and tired of yelling at you to pick things up. And you're sick and tired of having to pick the same things up. Plus, the first day of school is only a half day for kids. That's not the way it is at St. Bernard's, but in this story it is. Now, by the way, just to remind, this is from the point of view. Oh my gosh, I can't remember her name. They barely mention it. But anyways, we'll continue. My little brother Charlie once asked my mother what the teachers do for the rest of the day. They get things ready, books and papers and lessons. That's kind of like what your teachers are doing right now. That's not what Leroy Herdman says, Charlie told her. Leroy says as soon as the kids are gone, they lock all the doors and they order in pizza and beer. No, they don't, Mother said, and how would Leroy know anything? He forgot something, Charlie said, and he went back in to get it. He couldn't get in. They saw him coming. They probably locked the doors, Mother said. Wouldn't you? Well, yes, anybody would, because the Herdmans, Ralph, Imogene, Leroy, Claude, Ollie, and Gladys, were the worst kids in the history of the world. They weren't honest or cheerful or industrious or cooperative or clean. They told lies and they smoked cigars. And they set fire to things. And they hit little kids. And they cursed. And they stayed away from school whenever they wanted to. And they wouldn't learn anything when they were there. They were always there, though, on the first day of school. So you always knew right away that this was going to be another exciting year in the Woodrow Wilson Elementary School. At least there's only one at each grade. And since they never got held back, you always had the same one to put up with. I had Imogene, and what I did was stay out of her way, but it wasn't easy. This time, she grabbed me in the hall, shoved an oatmeal box in my face. Hey, you want to buy a science project? I figured that Imogene's idea of a science project would probably explode or catch fire or smell really bad or be alive and bite me. And in fact, I could hear something squealing and scratching around in the oatmeal box. Miss Kemp already wrote this year's assignment on the board, I said, and it isn't a science project. Fine time to tell me, said Imogene, grunted. What is it, the assignment? She shook her oatmeal box. Is it mice? I was half right. Imogene's science project was alive, and it probably wouldn't bite me unless it was great big mice. And I didn't want to find out. No, I said, it's about people. Mice would be better, Imogene said. Later that morning, Miss Kemp explained her assignment, and I thought Imogene might be right, because the assignment sounded weird. For this year's project, she said, we're going to study each other. That's the assignment on the board. Whoops. That's the assignment on the blackboard. Compliments for classmates. All over the room, hands are going up, and kids are saying, oh, but what does it mean, and how many pages? But Miss Kemp ignored all this. It means exactly what it says, she said. You're to think of a special compliment for each person in this class. But please don't groan, and a lot of people did anyway, because this is the assignment for the year. You have all year to think about it, and next June, before the last day of school, you will draw names in a hat and think of more compliments for just that one person. Somebody asked if it could be a famous person instead. Somebody else asked if it could be a dead famous person, like George Washington. Miss Kemp said no. This is a classroom project, so it has to be about people in the class. We know all about George Washington's good points, but she looked around and picked on Boomer. We don't know all about Boomer's good points. And more importantly, Boomer probably doesn't know all of his good points. How many compliments? Junior Jacobs wanted to know. Up to you, said Miss Kemp. Alice Wendelkin raised her hand. Would beautiful hair and shiny hair count as one compliment? This sounded to me as if Alice planned to compliment herself, which would save someone else the trouble. But Miss Kemp said, I'm not talking about beautiful hair or nice teeth, Alice. I mean characteristics, personal qualities, something special. This could be hard, I thought. Take Albert Pelfrey. When you think of Albert Pelfrey, all you think is fat. And even Albert thinks fat. It's hard to think anything else, so I would really have to study Albert and find some special personal quality that wasn't just about being fat. And besides Albert, there was 28 other people, including Imogene Herdman. What's a compliment? Imogene asked me. It's something nice that you tell someone, like if someone's especially nice or helpful or friendly. Alice looked Imogene up and down. Or especially clean, she said. Okay, Imogene frowned. But mice would be better. Mice would probably be easier for Imogene, because the Herdmans always had animals around. As far as I know, they weren't mean to the animals, but the animals they weren't mean to were mean all by themselves, like their cat, which was crazy and had to be kept on a chain because it bit people. Drink break. Now and then you would see Mrs. Herdman walking the cat around the block on its chain, but she worked 2 shifts at the shoe factory and didn't have much time left over to hang around the house and walk the cat. There wasn't any Mr. Herdman. Everybody agreed that after Gladys was born, he just climbed on a freight train and left town. But some people he did it right away, and some people said he waited a year or 2. Gladys probably bit him, my friend Alice Wendelkin said. Not if she was a baby. I said, babies don't have any teeth. She probably had hard gums. Alice knew what she was talking about because Gladys bit her all the time. Mrs. Wendelkin always poured iodine all over the bites, so Alice had to go around for days with big brown splotches on her arms and her legs. Alice was always afraid she would die anyway of Gladys bite and have to be buried, looking all splotchy and ugly instead of beautiful with her blue and white dress with the ruffles. It wasn't all that special to get bitten by Gladys. She bit everybody, including my little brother Charlie. Charlie came home yelling and screaming that Gladys bit him, and Gladys came home too. That showed you how fearless they were. Any other kid who bit a kid and broke the skin and drew blood would go hide somewhere, but not Gladys. Gladys Herdman! It's always your whole name when my mother's met. Do you know what I think about little girls who bite people? I think she ought to wear a sign around her neck that says, Beware of Gladys. I guess Mother thought that it would just be really put Gladys in her place, but Gladys just said, okay, and went home and made the sign and wore it for a week. Nobody paid much attention. We didn't need a sign to beware of Gladys. Besides everything else they did, the Herdmans would steal anything that could carry. And it was not surprising what all they could carry, not just candy and gum and gerbils and goldfish. They even stole Mrs. Johansson's concrete bird bath for the goldfish, I guess. And last spring, they stole my friend Luella McCluskey's baby brother Howard from in front of the grocery store. Of course, Howard wasn't supposed to be in front of the grocery store. Luella was supposed to be babysitting him, which she did every Tuesday afternoon while her mother went to the beauty parlor. Luella got paid 50 cents to do this, and on a particular Tuesday, we were in the grocery store spending her 50 cents. When we came out, no Howard. The stroller was still there, so that's why we didn't think that Howard was gone right away. Usually, if you missed something, you would just naturally figure that the Herdmans had it. Usually, if you miss some... Oh, I said that. But when they stole a thing, they always stole all of the thing. It wasn't like them to take the baby and leave the stroller. Luella turned the stroller over and looked underneath it as if they thought Howard might have fallen through, which was pretty dumb. Then we walked up and down the street, hollering for Howard, which was also dumb. How could Howard answer? He couldn't even talk. He couldn't walk either or crawl very much. He couldn't get out of the stroller in the first place. Well, somebody must have taken him, Luella said. Some stranger has just walked off with my baby brother. You better call a policeman. I said, no, I don't want to. They would get my mother out of the beauty parlor, and I don't want her to know. She'll know when you come home without Howard, I said. I won't go home. Not until I find him. Now let's just think. Who would take Howard? I couldn't imagine who would take Howard. Even my mother said Howard was the homeliest baby she had ever laid eyes on. But she did say he would probably just be fine once he grew some hair. That was his main trouble. Having no hair. Here he was, bald as an egg. And Mrs. McCluskey kept rubbing his head with Vaseline to make the hair grow. So when you looked at Howard, all you saw was a shiny white head. Not too good. Probably just someone who loves babies, Luella said, but that could be anybody. It would be easier to think of somebody who maybe hates babies, but if you hated them, you certainly wouldn't steal one. Then Luella had another idea. Let's just walk down the street, she said, push in the stroller. Maybe someone has seen Howard, and when they see us with the empty stroller, they'll figure we're looking for him and tell us where he is. I was pretty disgusted. Luella, I said, you know that won't happen. But it did. The first person we saw was my little brother Charlie, and the first thing he said was, if you're looking for Howard, the Herdmans have got him. Luella looked relieved, but not very. And I didn't blame her. If you had to choose between a total stranger having your baby brother and the Herdmans having him, you would the stranger every time. What have they done with him? Luella asked. They're charging kids $0.25 to look at him. They're charging kids $0.25 to look at him? Why would anyone pay $0.25 to look at Howard? I said. We can look at Howard anytime. Oh, they don't tell you it's Howard. They got a sign up that says, see the amazing tattooed baby. 25 cents. They tattooed him! Luella yelped. My mother will kill me. Actually, they didn't tattoo him. What they did is wipe off all the Vaseline and draw pictures all over his head with Sharpie marker. Charlie was dumb enough to fall for their sign. He paid his $0.25 to see an amazing tattooed baby. And of course he was mad as could be when it turned out to be Howard McCluskey with pictures drawn all over his head. So he tagged along behind us, insisting that if Luella got his money back, and we both knew that Luella would have all she could do just to get Howard back. If it was anything but the baby, she said, I wouldn't even try to get it back, not from the Herdmans. They already collected $6.50. Charlie said, you ought to make them pay you for some they ought to make you pay for some of, I'm sorry guys, you ought to make them pay you some of that for the use of Howard. I'll probably have to pay them, Luella grumbled. She was right. When we got to the Herdmans, there were 3 or 4 kids lined up outside the fence, and Luella marched up and said to Imogene Herdman, "You give me back my baby brother!" But Imogene pretended not to hear her and just went on collecting money. "You want to see the tattooed baby?" She jiggled the money box at Luella. "It'll cost you a quarter." "It's no tattooed baby," Luella said. "It's my baby brother." Imogene squinted her eyes together. "How do you know?" "I just know." "You do not. It could be anybody's baby. It could be some baby you never heard of. It'll cost you a quarter to find out." Sure enough, it was Howard, and he was a sight. The whole top of his head was red and green and blue and purple, with pictures of dogs and cats and tic-tac-toe games. "I don't know what you're so mad about," Leroy Herdman said. "He looks a lot better than he did." In a way, Leroy was right. Howard looked a lot more interesting, but nobody expected Mrs. McCluskey to think so. We took Howard back to my house and we had to wash off his head, which is how we found out the pictures were waterproof. "Now what'll I do?" Luella asked. "Tell your mother the Herdmans did it," Charlie said. "She'll just want to know why I let them do it, and how they got a hold of them in the first place. Maybe we should use some soap." We tried all kinds of things on Howard, but the only thing that worked at all was scouring powder, and that didn't work too well. It made his head gritty, and it didn't take off the purple. "If you don't stand too close to him," Luella said, "and then squint your eyes, does the purple look like veins?" It didn't look like that to me. But after all, I told Luella, I know what it is. Your mother doesn't know what it is, so maybe it'll look like veins to her. It didn't. Mrs. McCluskey was so mad that she got a sick headache and spots before her eyes and had to lie down for 2 days. The first thing she did after she got up was to go to work on Howard's head and try to get the patches off. And that's when she discovered 2 or 3 patches of soft fuzz. So then she wasn't mad at the Herdmans anymore. She said something about all the drawing or the magic marker ink must have started his hair to grow. But she was still mad at Luella, which didn't seem fair. After all, it could have been the scouring powder. I said that to my mother, and I knew right away that was a mistake because she said, "What scouring powder?" And then, "Beth Bradley, come back here. What's scouring powder?" So then I got punished for putting scouring powder on Howard's head, and Luella got punished for leaving him in front of the grocery store, and Charlie got punished by not having Choco Whoopie bars from the ice cream man until next week. "That was what your quarter was for," Mother told him. "Next time you'll think twice before you throw away your quarter on something silly." Of course, Howard got some hair, but he was a baby. He didn't care whether he had any hair or not. The Herdmans, who had caused all the trouble in the first place, got $6.50. If anybody but the Herdmans had stolen a baby and scribbled all over his head and then charged people money to look at him, they would have been shut up in the house for the rest of their natural lives. But since it was the Herdmans, most people just said how lucky Mrs. McCluskey was to get Howard back in just one piece. And that was that. The truth is, no one wanted to fool around with them. So you knew that unless they tried to hold up the First National Bank or burn down the public library, you weren't going to see the last of them, especially if you had to go to the Woodrow Wilson School and be in the same class with Imogene and figure out something good to say about her before the end of the year. So that's the end of chapter 1. What did you guys think? I'm looking at some of my comments. I'm scrolling back. I see people saying hi to each other. Oh, I miss you too there, Michelle Duffy. And hi. Oh, and I see Mrs. Ayres commenting. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, Charlotte. Charlotte, I see your mom said you're wearing the same shirt that I am. Yay, Charlotte. Yay, 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 yay. Oh, and Mrs. Ayres said, sounds like the Glossners from The Middle. Yes, that's a TV show, and I know Mrs. Ayres loves that TV show. Let's see what other comments we have from people. Mrs. Dahlman says hi. Oh, Kendall says hi, Easton, Lucas, Toby, Ambry. Oh, well, thank you, Mrs. Ayres. I think Mrs. Ayres should come and do a little... Mrs. Ayres needs to come and do a little story time during this time sometime as well, because Mrs. Ayres is the funniest person. She tells the best story. Oh, yep, Henley likes this book. I see that. I see hi from the Idleby's family. Oh, Olivia says hi. Oh, hello, Olivia. And thank you. Oh, I'm glad you like the book. It's really nice because each chapter, it continues the story, but it also is a standalone chapter. So even if you miss the chapter before, it just has short things like this. Now, one of the things I want to do, and remember, of course, if you, for whatever reason, came late and you want to see this, right after we're done with this, I'm going to be uploading it to the site. Remember, it was sent home via email, and a paper copy was sent home among the pile of things that got sent home yesterday. One thing I do want to do is this. We are going to have, hold on a second, sorry about that. We are going to, see, Mrs. Brickson is still learning on her technology as well. Oh, we are going to have a dance party. So kids, I want you to stand up so you can see this, or hold it. Oh my goodness, and now my screen is being weird. Oh goodness, sorry. It's coming, just be patient. Thank you guys. Sorry. That's not what I wanted. Give me a second. I am so sorry. Okay, we're going to have a dance party. Now, I have a bunch of books on this. Oh, my goodness. This is what happens when you scrub the hair of the... Oh, my God. Okay, I found a bunch of really fun reading songs or parodies, and they're also on that playlist. Are you ready for a dance party, kiddos? Okay. Here we go. Reading rocks.
We love to read, there's nothing like a real good book to make you feel real good inside. We got Mother Goose, the Little Red Caboose, Lemony Snicket, and Dr. Seuss.
We will read you. We will read you.
When you're having a terrible, horrible read that day, a book can take you far, far away to Madeline in France, a barnyard dance, an adventure with Captain Underpants.
We will read you. We will read you.
Follow us to where the sidewalk ends, where the wild things are with Frog and Toad, our friends. Meet the cat in the hat, Stella Luna the bat, a cottony bunny that you can pat.
We will read you. Sing along, everybody. Let's get dancing. We will read you. We will read you. We will read you. You gotta play that air guitar, guys. You can get the claps in and everything. Was that cool? All right, I hope you enjoyed that. And so with that, that is going to be that's going to be it for today. I hope that you guys are able to. Oh, I'm trying to get this situated here. I hope that you guys are going to come back and listen. And I am going to be sending this out as an email as well, just with the link. I miss you guys so much, and I miss you guys so much. And please know that you have made a difference in my life, in all of our lives. And I know I'm going to be seeing you again soon. And with that, we got to close with this. Here we go. Love you guys. We'll see you later.